and welcome. I am Ashley Torian, the host of Ashley's Heart Song, the place where you get out of the stress and back into your body, your life, and your business. This journey that we're on is about tapping into that song of our heart. The song of our heart is our inspiration, our reason for being. And when we keep that uppermost in our mind and embedded in our heart, we then can care for our health, our emotional balance, our mind. We've mastered the mind, everything. It is beautiful. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to have y'all with me. Yes. So, this is the first episode of Ashley's Heart Song, and we will take the three brains approach. Through the three brains, we restore our energy, our vitality, and we live vibrantly in a healthy body. So the way that I would love to work this show is I will be starting off with quotes that deal with the topic that I am going to be sharing with y'all. And then we're going to go into an energy quotient. What is your energy quotient? And then after that, won't always be set up. Now, the very first 30 minutes is me coaching or speaking, sharing, instructing you on the various techniques, various information that I have for you in teaching on the topic. And then after that 30 minutes, we'll be breaking it open to or opening up the lines for you to be able to share your questions, your comments, and anything else that has arisen for you during the TV show. All right, so let's get started. Panache Desai says that the vibration that we send out, the universe is echoing it back to us. And what I take from that is that how we are in any given moment, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're saying, that is sending out a vibration, so to speak, and bringing it right back into our world, being the reality of our world. So when we look at that, it kind of makes us want to go back and go, what is my reality? What am I living right now? Is this really the story that I wanted to live out, or do I want to change some things? And that's the beauty of this, is we can change it at any time that we want. All we got to do is start thinking differently, speaking differently, and feeling differently. And so in today's show, what I'd like to do is to take you through three different areas in which we can do just that. I'm going to be sharing you kind of a blanket overview today, since it's the first show. And then after that, each show after that will be in more finite detail around this journey and this approach to changing how you think, how you feel, and how you speak, so that you are living in a body that is vibrantly healthy, one that you love, you feel good in your own skin, you're calm and confident. Super, super fun. So let's start with your current day energy quotient. When you look at your energy quotient, what is it? And when we take our energy quotient and evaluate it, what we do is we kind of close our eyes for just a moment. So go ahead and close your eyes and just breathe in through the nose. You can exhale the first time through the mouth loudly if you like. We're just going to take it nice and easy. And what we're doing is we're turning in. We're getting inside our body when we do this. So you're paying attention to your breath, in and out, the flow. You're listening to the sound. And then I would like for you to just see, what is your digestive system doing right now? Are you at rest? Meaning, is there no digestive discomfort? Or is there digestive discomfort? Because digestive discomfort plays a role in our energy quotient, in the vitality quotient. So what is that for you? So you can mark this on a scale of 1 to 10. Measure that out, and you can write that number down when you get it. All right, next, we're going to be tapping into, what is your brain doing right now? your mind? Are you like feel like it's in a rush, or do you feel really calm, like there's space between your thoughts? Numbered on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, excuse me, 10 being the most busy, right? And, or actually 10 being the most at peace, 1 being the most busy. And then on the energy, I didn't tell you this, but on your digestive quotient, 10 being the most upset, or 10 being at rest, and 1 being the most upset. Woo, getting my numbers all backwards. So, what is your energy quotient today? All right. And then we want to look at just your overall energy level from 1 to 10. 10 being you have got all the energy you could ever hope for, and 1 being you are really lacking, you feel super fatigued. What is your energy scale reading from 1 to 10? Now, add those up, and the highest you can get is a 30 on your vitality quotient. So what is your score? If you scored a 15, then you're halfway there to feeling your best. If you're under 15, then there is some quote unquote work to do, but it's only work being mindful, being present, and not getting carried away with life, but really allowing yourself to be in this space of your life. All right. So, no judgment around the number, no, nothing like that. And it's a nice idea to just take this and get this score on a daily basis, a weekly basis. We will do it here weekly. So if you wanted to just tune in with me every Monday, and you can take your vitality score and you can monitor that and see how you increase that as we move along and you learn more and more about this fantastic work. All right. So next up, what I would love to do is to share with you a couple of insights that I have come across in my years of coaching. And that is, we really get carried away with our mind. The mind tends to run the show. And what we can open ourselves up to is to give the heart the opportunity to run the show. So we have 3 brains: head brain, heart brain, and gut brain. And today we're going to be diving into these on a holistic view, kind of that Hawkeye view, way up high, so we can see the full picture. And then we'll be breaking it down over the course of the next several weeks and several months. The mind, the heart, and the emotions is our soul, the earthly aspect of us that is continually evolving while we're here on planet Earth. Continually evolving and growing. This is the part of you that can hold you back or have you cross the finish line with arms up going, yeah, I did it, right? So how do you want to be? Do you want to be, oh man, if I had just figured this out, or if I had just figured that out? Or do you want to be the one, arms outstretched as you're crossing the finish line going, yeah, I rocked it. I knocked it out of the park. We have that choice. And so I want to share with you that this soul part of you is not take the place of your spirit. So we are physical body, the soul, the mind, the heart, and the emotions, the earthly aspect of you, and then the spirit of you that is here to do a mission. There is a reason why you were born on the day that you were born and the time you were born in this time of the world, because there is something very special that only you can provide, that it is time for you to share. And the spirit of us is going, come on, would you please get your act together? Get those thoughts in order. Start feeling the love, feeling the opportunities come your way, and feel the enthusiasm so that we can get this party started and do what we're intended to do. And then this beautiful vehicle, when we think that way, in that love-filled thoughts, enthusiasm, and courage, commitment, and compassion. When we're there, this body is so vibrantly healthy, it can actually be that vehicle you need to do your work. So that's it from that Hawkeye view. So let's break those three parts up a little bit. So the mind, y'all, we want to master our mind. We want to become mentally fit. And that is when we know that we have elevated our state. So Panache, when he was talking about the vibration that you send out and how the universe is echoing it back to you, what he's speaking to is that vibration that you have comes from the thoughts and the feelings and the words we speak, right? So if you can think back to what your mind has been doing all day, just kind of take a really kind glance back and see what your mind was doing all day. What was the talk like? What did you find that happened in your day because of that talk? Were you on point and productive, or did you find yourself procrastinating? Because when we get inside our head, which our thoughts can carry us away, and when we get inside our head, we begin to live inside that whirlwind, that busy, the I don't have time mindset and syndrome that can come upon us. Our mind is the biggest area of our leak. This is where we can leak the most. When our thoughts are below the line, meaning they're very fear-based and fearful, that is when we become unproductive. We begin to procrastinate. Our saboteurs show up and pull us off course. If you're on an eating plan where you want to get this body healthy, then you may find yourself grazing, closet eating, cheating, binge eating maybe. If you are wanting to expand your business and grow your audience, maybe you want to build a team in the business that you're creating, but your saboteurs keep showing up because your mind is running amok. Your mind is running the show. So it may seem like an impossible task to stop those thoughts or to slow them down, but in all actuality, you can do it. You have a beautiful 7 seconds in which to look at a thought and determine if that thought is life-giving or life-stealing. So you simply look at it. You capture that thought. You capture the thought and you take a look at it and go, does this make me feel good or does this make me feel not so good? And if it doesn't make you feel good, we let it continue flying through and we do not attach or engage to it. We simply let it flow through. If the thought is life-giving, then we hold on to it and we nurture it and we go, yeah, how else can I work with this? What else am I going to do with this thought? And take in those feelings into your body. And that's the vibration that you want to send out. So the universe echoes it back to you. You know, in the Bible, Jesus shares a story where he's talking about we've got to clean out the inside of the cup before we can ever clean the outside. And what I interpret that as is we've got to clean out the inside of us and that muck before we can ever start changing our life, sending out that vibration that brings in all that we would love. We got to clean out the inside, and it starts with our mind, with our thoughts. So when you reflected back just a moment ago and looked at your thoughts, what did you come up with? What was glaringly obvious to you? Did you have a repeating thought that kept you from doing something for your business or for your health, for your finances, for your friendships, for your relationships, for your service? Did you find thoughts that kept you, that stole your time, that kept you from really launching yourself into what you would love to do today? No judgment, no judgment. We simply want to look at it and see. I've had clients come into my door where they are um, the mantras in their mind, the thoughts that are coming through their mind are life stealing, and it's stealing their joy, stealing their energy. And it's interesting because at the same time that it's stealing the energy and the joy, guess what else is happening? They're inside that busy, and it looks like they're productive. And you may have witnessed this for yourself. It looks like you're productive because you're so busy and you're running out of time to get everything done. And you're in this whirlwind, this cycle that seems never ending, and your energy continues to drain, drain, and drain. That's what we want to stop here. And we want to stop it by capturing our thoughts. Take captive the thoughts and look at them and see if they're life-giving or life-stealing. Let those life-stealing ones flow through, and the life-giving ones, take them in and feel them in your body, into your very soul, into all the cells, into the marrow of your bones, right? The good feelings. That's what we want. That's what the vibration we want to send out, so that the universe echoes back to us all that we would love, right? Just take a deep breath for a moment. Allow yourself to come centered. You can even place your hand over your heart and just let yourself slow down and become centered. Feels good to do that, doesn't it? This next segment we're going to go into is around physical, being physically fit. And this is how we live well. And physically fit is not just about the body, the exercise body. I've been a personal fitness trainer for over 35 years, y'all. And I love movement. I was a gymnast, a trackster, a power lifter, love it all. And that is super, super important. However, we also need to pay attention to the inside of our body, the internal rhythm of our body. And in the internal rhythm of our body, we have the stress response, right? And our mind can take us into a stress response with those life-stealing thoughts. Well, we don't want to do that because that just stores fat. We don't want to do that. And yes, I will go into that more as the episodes continue. But for today, I want to just give you that Hawkeye view of what this work looks like so you can see if it resonates with you. The other three systems we want to look at when we look at internal is the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is in charge of sweeping out the trash through your body. It does this during the night really well, sweeps up all the trash and then sends it out through the digestive system so that we eliminate that trash and we don't enter into our following day with the previous day's trash. We don't want to do that because that feels bloating and heavy and yuck, right? That's the lymphatic system. The endocrine system is our hormones. And there's one hormone in particular that gets a little wonky. All of them can get wonky when we don't pay attention to this rhythm. But this one gets super wonky with the cortisol. And then the digestive system, the area we're going to speak to, is the gut brain. The gut brain being awake and present so that it can digest, assimilate, and get the food through the system so that you're, again, not carrying around yesterday's trash tomorrow. This rhythm that we want the body to be in alignment with is circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is when we are in rhythm with the sun. We have this biological clock. When the sun rises, the switch turns on. When the sun goes down, the switch turns off. When we catch the angel train at 10 p.m., we are in for a great night of healing and restoration. However, if we stay up late, go to bed at 1, 2 a.m., we have missed a lot of time that our body could be cleaning out and restoring and healing, giving us that immune booster shot with the cytokines between 2 and 6. I mean, there's so much that happens. And yes, I will be sharing all the details of that as we go through with episodes that follow. But know that catching the angel train is of utmost importance. So if you now stay up until midnight and go to bed around midnight, all you got to do a course correction is to back up that time in 15-minute intervals. So this week you would back up the clock 15 minutes, which means you would go to sleep, get in bed by 11:45. Do that for about a week, and then the next week take it to 11:30. You do this very slowly, otherwise your body will do a freak out dance. And we don't want the freak out dance going on because that sends you into a stress response. And again, the stress response does all sorts of wacky things to your body, but the one thing us women really don't want is stored fat. We don't want any more opportunities to store fat. So we don't want to jump on that freak out dance train. Ah, if you have questions around any of this, I encourage you to write them down because in just a moment, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be opening up the line so that we can have some Q&A, live Q&A, some questions, some clarifications, and you can get started rolling really quickly. All right? But please join me here every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific, that's 3 p.m. Central Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Join me right here and you can receive more information around this idea of vitality and tapping into that heart song so that you live free. And I'm going to get to that part in just a second. The next area that I would love to share with you that we can address is emotional fit, being emotionally fit. This right here, y'all, will set you free. You know those times when you experience all of a sudden the jitters, your hands start shaking, maybe your mouth goes dry or your tummy has worry syndrome or I don't know, anything at all, and you think, where did this come from? Where did this come from? I'm not nervous about this today. Well, all of that is stored in your subconscious mind based on events and experiences that happened in the past. And your subconscious mind loves to predict your future. So it saves time. It says, oh, I remember what happened the last time you were in this situation. Let me give you the chemistry you need in order to get that done. Oh, my word. No, 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 that's not what we want. What we would love is some peace, right? So right now, write down on a piece of paper, what is stealing your peace? What experience, what emotion, what person, place, thing is stealing your peace? Write that down right now, and we can dive into that in a little bit when we go live, when I open up the lines for y'all. But what we want to look at here is not out of judgment either, never, never out of judgment, but just notice that, wow, my body is really sending me a message. And that message is for us to capture our thoughts. The message is to catch that angel train so our hormones are in balance and our moods aren't flying all over the place. And to notice when we don't feel quite right in our body. So right now, I want to take you through a sensorial resilience experience. And you can close your eyes for this if you want, or you can keep them open. And I'm going to take you through all the senses. So just follow my lead. What we're going to be doing is giving the brain a job other than chit-chatting. Okay? So look straight ahead out in front of you if your eyes are open. And notice what you're looking at. Notice in fine detail the colors, the textures. Is it moving? Is it still? Notice everything about it. Now, what are you hearing in this moment? What external noises are in the room with you? Maybe you're outside and you're hearing the birds chirp. But what are you hearing? What is that noise? And see if you can identify the noise that's farthest away from you. What is the noise that is farthest away? Now, what do you feel against your skin? Do you feel the seat you're sitting on? What does it feel like? Notice what the seat back feels like against your back. If you're standing up, notice your clothes, how they feel on your skin. What is it that you smell in your environment? What smell do you have near you, around you? And lastly, what I'd love for you to do is to take a breath in, exhale through your nose. And now the next breath, I want you to inhale through your mouth. And what do you taste in the environment? You can do that a couple of times to see if you can identify a specific taste. Now be present in all that you just experienced. See how many of those you can focus in on at the same time. Maybe what you're smelling, what you're hearing, what you're feeling. See if you can focus on 2 to 3 of those senses at one time and just allow yourself to be present with it. Continue breathing evenly. Don't try hard to breathe. Just let your body naturally do it. Beautiful. You can open your eyes if you had them closed. That is what we call sensorial resilience. And that is when we are giving the brain another job and we're allowing the senses full focus. And also, what that does is it brings us into our body so we can begin feeling what we really are feeling. If you find your mind in a whirlwind during the next week, do sensorial resilience. Take a time out for 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's all you need. 2 minutes works great. And allow yourself to get centered. Allow yourself to get centered right in the heart. That will help you become and elevate your emotional fitness. When we take charge of our mind and we tell it what to do, then we are then taking hold of those reins to begin mastering our emotions. Our emotions are very similar to the ocean. The ocean is affected by external forces, yes, with the current, the height of the waves, how hard it crashes into the surf. That is all dictated by external forces. We are made up of more than 60% water. So wouldn't you think that we are also affected and impacted by external forces? We are. We are. We are. The external world is living really busy. The external world is moving very fast. The external world has a really loud voice sometimes. And if we are not caring for the body, the soul, and the spirit, and becoming the master of our mind, then we become subject to the external noise. And our body is impacted, especially emotionally, from it. You know, I had this beautiful conversation with someone that around, pardon me, I'm going to adjust. I had this wonderful conversation with someone um, one time at the end of COVID. And it was interesting because we had two totally different viewpoints of that experience. she had asked me how I was, and I said, "Oh my gosh, everything is really good. My business has evolved and is growing. My relationship with my hubby is just sweeter than ever. Spending all that time with family was just so wonderful. And everybody, wherever I went, everyone was so kind, held doors open, so sweet." And it was really interesting because this other person's viewpoint and the experience they had was completely opposite of mine, completely opposite. So, what does that mean when we have those different experiences? We both lived the same reality as you and maybe a good friend of yours. Y'all lived the same reality, but you each had different experiences. Why is that? Several reasons. Our perspectives are different, but why are our perspectives different? Because we each look for something different. One viewpoint is looking for what is going to go right today, what opportunities are come my way, what is in store for me. I'm thrilled. I cannot wait to see what it is. That reticular activating system in the brain, it's like now sending out this homing beacon for everything that you would love to bring into your life. And then the other that didn't have that experience, listen to the external world in fear. Listen to the fear. Listen to the chit chat of the mind. Listened to the up and down emotions, that emotional spiral. And when we tune into that channel, we decrease our energy, we decrease our physical strength, we decrease our mental clarity. In fact, we go real foggy. And typically, the verbiage that comes out of our mouth is speaking in a way and speaking to something that we do not want to enter into our door. But we can't help it because we're so afraid. We're so scared, wrapped up inside of that fear, that we begin to speak it. Y'all, let's step outside of that fear puddle. Let's rise up and let's begin to empower ourselves by mastering the mind, becoming physically fit by taking care of our physical body with sleep, with hydration, with nourishing food, working out, and positive self-talk, loving thoughts. And let's begin some emotional fitness techniques to elevate that fitness level of our emotions. When we do all of this, we're working on our soul. And when that soul is in alignment with the spirit, and remember, the spirit's got a job while you're here on planet Earth, and that's the song of your heart. That thing that's been knocking at your door saying, you really need to do this. The song of your heart, what is it? When you align the soul and the spirit up with the song of your heart, in conjunction with the aim that's before you, your job, your mission, you are going to thrive. You will thrive and elevate your state. You will live well, and you will step into the flow of your beautiful life. So join me every Monday, 3 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Win-Win Women Network. And I will have more of this incredible information to help you transform the soul of you so that your physical, your soul, and your spirit are all in alignment and living out your heart song. You can find me on Facebook. Ashley Frederick Torian is the name. You can find me on Instagram under the same name. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. But